When I originally started my business 6 or 7 years ago, I was stuck in a pattern of only attracting low-paying clients who were extremely demanding and not that happy. And what I wanted was high-paying clients who are extremely happy and with whom it is very easy to work with. And I stayed stuck in that cycle for a long time because back then I was so broke that I felt that I could not refuse someone willing to pay me, right? So if someone is willing to pay me, I don't know, 50 or $100 an hour, even if I charge 200, I can't say no when I have bills to pay. But that also signals the universe, hey, I don't believe that I can get better, and that basically is the embodiment of exactly what we don't want. And it keeps you stuck in this cycle of saying yes to what you don't want because you don't quite believe that you can have what you do want. So let's do some EFT tapping on this subject so you can attract higher paying clients who are a breeze and joy to work with. Even though I wish I had higher paying clients who are a dream to work with. And I might or might not have them right now, or not in the amount I want or need. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm stuck in this vicious cycle of saying yes to what I don't want, it feels I don't really have a choice. And I'm feeling pretty stuck. I soothe and comfort myself. I feel that I can't say no to lower paying clients. Because what if no one else comes? A little money is better than no money. Some money is better than zero money. And I can't really afford to be selective right now. So I say yes, even if it doesn't really feel aligned. And I'm afraid that if I raise my prices, then no one is going to pay me anymore. I'm feeling stuck. I want to charge more, but I'm afraid that I'll lose the small amount that I do have. Maybe I'm also thinking, who am I to charge more? People won't pay me more. Other people are more qualified or legitimate than me. I can't charge more now. I want it, but I would feel guilty about it. So I'm battling two patterns. On one hand, I desire more and want to grow. On the other, I feel so scared of not having enough. So I say yes, even if it feels off. I say yes to clients that don't feel 100% aligned. I say yes to clients who expect everything and want to pay almost nothing. Maybe I even offer discounts before they ask. Or I over-deliver to compensate for I don't even know what. And I end up drained, undervalued, and resentful. I know that I'm smart and I have so much to offer. But then my actions don't match that. I'm saying yes to people that don't match how I want to work. I'm stuck in a vicious circle. I'm aware that I keep attracting the same type of clients. The clients who say they don't have money and sometimes have a big car and the latest iPhone. Clients who say they can't afford more services but go on a very pricey holiday. I guess part of me doesn't know how to get out of this. How would I act if I already had all of the money and clients I wanted? If I had no worries about money, I would only work with people who feel great and pay accordingly to the value I deliver. I would not over-deliver to prove myself. So how can I do a bit more of that right now? This is a setting my boundaries and saying no so I can attract the people who feel like a big yes. I can't open the door to the perfect client if I keep spending time and energy on the wrong client. I don't have a money problem. I have a boundary and fear problem. And luckily, EFT works greatly with those two things. So here's what I'll do. I will settle an objective slightly out of my comfort zone. Maybe charging 10, 20, 50% more. Or selling a more extensive package with a bigger transformation. And I will say no to anything that doesn't match it. And that's how progressively I attract what I want. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I can go one baby step at a time. But I'm taking full accountability for breaking this vicious cycle immediately. Okay, a deep breath in and breathe out. So what helped me immensely and what I highly recommend you do too, and what I helped a lot of clients with, is you need to be in love with whatever you're selling. So let me give you a very basic example. When I started doing EFT and hypnosis, I would do single sessions. So maybe someone would come for weight loss, someone would come for anxiety, someone would come for procrastination. And while these people had great results most of the time, The kind of pattern that was happening is that it was someone who came wanting to solve all of their problems in one session. So they would tell me, yeah, I overeat, I want to lose weight, and my problem is with dessert. So I eat too much dessert, too much cakes, too much cookies. And that especially happens when I get into a fight with my partner, then I just can't stop myself. And also when I feel guilty about not spending enough time with my children. So now we have three very solid pillars that are the foundation of the overeating, but they don't want to work on the three. They think that a quick hypnosis session will stop the muffin craving. And sometimes it can work when the issue is not that deep or when it's just a habit we kind of picked up randomly. But when there are deeper table legs to support the tabletop, we need to work on all of the table legs. So I didn't have full conviction that when someone was coming to me with like an obviously multiple um, multiple problem issue, that I could help them in one session. But one session was the only thing they could afford. So there was a bit of misalignment there, and I took them anyways because I knew that I could help them and I also needed the money. And at some point I said, listen, this needs to stop. I need to create an offer that I'm absolutely passionate about, or a container where I deeply believe that transformation is absolutely going to happen. So that relieves me of the stress and the imposter syndrome feeling of what if they don't get results? Because I know that with enough time and enough sessions, my clients absolutely get results. And to make a long story short, I then specialized in imposter syndrome and worked on that for a long time as my niche. I created the Imposter Syndrome Terminator program, which was a 3-month program with 4 monthly sessions and a bunch of things included, which was mapped up in a very strategic way to help people overcome imposter syndrome. And since I had so much faith in my ability to help someone who had imposter syndrome, I was able to create a program that was 3 months long that helped people with imposter syndrome. It always worked. I did a lot of research, trial and error, etc. So that I was able to come up with an offer that was $3,600 at a time. Then it was a bit more. And I only focused on selling that. And if people wanted to come for me for single sessions, in the beginning I said no because I was locked in my imposter syndrome terminator program. And it worked. Like I started to be locked in maybe March or April, and it was in 2020. And by the end of 2020, I had at least like 12 or 15. I can't even remember. It was so many clients who came for imposter syndrome, the imposter syndrome terminator program. And later on, which is kind of out of topic, I did accept a wider range of clients, even clients who wanted to come for a single session, but it came from a very different energy. It wasn't from the energy of desperation of, oh my God, I have to accept them because I have no other option and I need the money. But it came from, okay, I love my imposter syndrome terminator clients. I love serving people for 3 months, but sometimes someone wants to come, they have a spider phobia or heights phobia, they want to get it over with in 1 or 2 EFT sessions. It's not that deep, and it actually brought me joy to do that. And I was also being paid what I wanted to get paid. So I was happy, the client was happy. They were not afraid of spiders anymore after 1 or 2 sessions. Everyone was happy, and that felt aligned. So yeah, bottom line, you need to, number one, be willing to do what's scary. So say no to clients who underpay, even if it's your only money. Trusting that when you signal very strongly to God or the universe that you're not settling for less, that's when you open the door for the universe to start sending you more of what you want to. But when we are settling for less, what we're basically saying, and the universe always say, whatever you affirm, I send that to you. So if I'm settling for clients that I don't like to work with because I feel I have no choice, what I'm affirming is I cannot get a better client, so I have to settle with this. And the universe says, okay, I can't get a better client, so I'm settling with that. Okay, I'll send you more of that. And when I said no, no more, it's scary as hell. I panicked at least once a day about it. How am I going to pay my bills? Is someone ever going to come? But I kept my boundaries and I said, no, I will not. I will say no to everyone who doesn't want the imposter syndrome program. And that meant saying no to $500 here, $300 there. But I stayed strong, and within a few weeks, I got my first imposter syndrome terminator program clients who paid 3,600. And I really believe it's because the universe said, okay, she has enough faith to turn away or turn down what she doesn't want. So that's all the faith she needs. She believes, so we can send her what she wants. So that's part one. And part two, really believing in your offer, because when you're 100% aligned with what you're selling and the results it can bring, it becomes so much easier to attract clients and just, to kind of transmit an energy of faith, of confidence, and of results. And clients will feel that. And sometimes it means making an offer longer and at a higher investment point than what you usually do, but knowing that you have full faith that within that time frame you can get your clients' results. Because the fear that your clients are not going to get results, and I can do another video on that, is one of the number one reasons we are subconsciously pushing clients away. Because we'd rather be broke than be heartbroken and ashamed of having had a client who paid us and didn't get results. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel that you're being stuck with clients or an income level that just doesn't really match what you want, and you want to work deeper on that, there's several options on how we can work together, whether that's a single session, depending on your circumstances, we can discuss that together, or a longer container if that's what would bring you more of what you want. You can just click the link in the description somewhere here on YouTube and you'll have all the information you need as well as the contact form. So thank you so much for tapping today, and I'll see you in the next video.